From Wish TV, your local news source, this is breaking news.
We will hunt you down and make you pay.
At least 13 U.S. service members killed. A suspected suicide attack outside the airport in Kabul.
These American service members who gave their lives, it's an overused word, but it's totally appropriate here, were heroes.
Horrifying images tell the story in Afghanistan, happening 7,000 miles from Indiana, but hitting all too close to home for Hoosier veterans.
It's just tragic to see it happen. It breaks my heart.
Despite the tragic events of the day, state lawmakers say the mission continues.
We intend to come in and get our people, we intend to come in and get our soldiers, and we intend to come in and get our Afghan allies.
We can't let this attack hinder our efforts to get people out of Afghanistan.
But how that ends is concerning for those who have served.
I would hate to be the last plane out of Afghanistan. Just imagine who's going to be on your feet.
And good evening, everyone. At 10 o'clock, I'm Phil Sanchez.
And I'm Sierra Hignite. We want to warn you that this next story, it contains graphic and violent images. ISIS-K is now claiming responsibility for the bombings in Kabul that have killed more than 60 people and wounded more than 150 others.
Isabel Rosales reports at least 13 U.S. service members are among those killed.
President Biden says we will strike back against ISIS-K with targeted attacks outside of a large military operation. But some experts say that will be difficult.
The lives we lost today were lives given in the service of liberty.
America in mourning. The flag on top of the White House now at half-staff in honor of the U.S. service members killed during terror attacks in Kabul, Afghanistan Thursday morning.
These American service members who gave their lives, it's an overused word, but it's totally appropriate here, were heroes. Heroes who have been engaged in a dangerous, selfless mission to save the lives of others.
ISIS in Khorasan, also known as ISIS-K, claiming responsibility for the carnage created by the suicide bombings.
The threat from ISIS is extremely real. We've been talking about this for several days. We saw it actually manifest itself here in the last few hours with an actual attack.
One bombing at a hotel, another at an airport checkpoint where people were lined up desperately trying to evacuate the country before the August 31st deadline.
Clearly, if they were able to get up to the Marines at the screening at the entry point of the base, there's a failure somewhere. It was a failure by, the Taliban operate with varying degrees of competence.
The Biden administration is now vowing swift retribution in response to the deadly attacks.
We're prepared to take action against them. 24/7, we are looking for them.
We will not forgive. We will not forget. We will hunt you down and make you pay.
And President Biden says we will not be intimidated or deterred from the mission here, which is evacuations. The military continues to do that as we speak, and we know that there's about 1,000 Americans still in the country. Live in Washington, I'm Isabel Rosales.
Back here in Indiana, veterans are bracing for what's ahead. News 8's Demi Johnson is here, and Demi, they tell you that watching this play out, it's not been easy for them.
Yeah, veterans say they're rightfully so feeling emotional, and they tell me it's never easy to watch American service members die, and they say they worry it's not over.
Painful images from Afghanistan, serving as a reminder of the past for many veterans.
I was in the Gulf War back in 1991. This is a little bit different scenario than Iraq and Iran, but this is disturbing on so many levels because, unfortunately, we haven't learned much history, seems like, along the way.
Former Indianapolis Mayor Greg Ballard was a Marine for 23 years. And although he never spent time in Afghanistan, he did fight in the Middle East.
I get alerts all day long from the news, and when I saw those alerts, I actually turned on the news because this hits home. I certainly remember when we were in Beirut, and I remember exactly where I was when the Beirut barracks blew up and 241 sailors and Marines were killed that day. These things are tragic, and like I say, it hit me hard.
Ballard says he understood America's time in the Middle East would eventually have to come to an end. But like so many other veterans, he's not okay with how it happened.
There were other options available. I'm pretty much sure of that. Why they chose what they chose, I have no idea. I wasn't there, but it doesn't look to be a clean option.
Afghanistan veteran Gordon Smith doesn't see it that way. He says the attack and future attacks are inevitable.
I don't care if we would have evacuated today, next month, next year, 10 years from now. I think that we would see the same thing.
And now he's worried about what we may see next.
Will Al-Qaeda, Taliban, ISIS-K, all these organizations, whoever comes out on top, are they going to start empire building? Are they going to go into Pakistan? Are they going to go into Qatar? Which I would think they probably would if I were them. It'd be easy.
When it comes to the immediate future, both men say they'll be on edge until every American soldier is back home.
Crowds are going to come busting through. The Taliban will be there. Al-Qaeda, whoever is going to be there, everybody and their brother. Wouldn't it be just absolutely to their credit and to their purposes to blow up the last American aircraft pulling out of there?
You know, we are where we are right now, and I hope that the nation reacts appropriately.
Smith works in veteran services and says his phone has been ringing constantly. We also heard from veterans last week who told us they had been in close communication with their VA therapist. They say no veteran should be ashamed to reach out for help. Live in studio, Demi Johnson, Wish TV, wishtv.com, and follow us on Facebook.
Demi, thank you very much. Our team has spent the day gathering reaction from Indiana's members of Congress on the attack. News 8's Scott Sander talked with Democrat Andre Carson not long after the explosions in Kabul.
We do know the ISIS elements, Khorasan posed an imminent threat to the perimeter of the airport because the mass of Afghans who are gathered to evacuate and because Allied troops were present, the airport was simply a target. It's an extremely volatile situation, but our commanders on the ground, they're really doing their best. We can't let this attack hinder our efforts to get people out of Afghanistan.
Carson says the Biden administration should consider extending the August 31st deadline in Afghanistan if necessary. Indiana Republican Jim Baird, who served during the Vietnam War, told us that he wants the president to order immediate action in Afghanistan.
We need a swift and forceful response that lets the Taliban know that we intend to come in and get our people, that we intend to come in and get our soldiers, and we intend to come in and get our Afghan allies. And so whatever it takes, the commander-in-chief needs to take responsibility for that and make sure that we push the Taliban back far enough till we can accomplish that mission.
Baird also told us that if it means sending more troops back to Afghanistan for now, he would support that to regain control. Our coverage of the attack in Afghanistan continues online. We're gathering reaction from Indiana veterans and lawmakers. You can also watch the full news conferences from President Biden and the Pentagon. That's all right now at wishtv.com.